here. Welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday. How was your day? This is clear as crystal. Thank you for joining me. Jack and I, or Chief and I, have decided that on Mondays and Tuesdays, we want to hang out a little bit. So I've got Chief in the studio with me, and we're going to kind of discuss a little bit of what we were talking about on Sunday. And that was communication. What did you just say? What did you just say? And so some of the things I went over was just kind of general understanding of communication. First of all, have you spent enough time off of your phone? And I understand your time is valuable. So first of all, I just want to thank you for being here because you didn't have to join us. And I know it's around dinner time, so you're feeding something or someone, maybe even yourself. You're trying to put your feet up. It's been a long day, or you may be going to work. Wherever you are, I just appreciate you joining me, so thank you. The communication. Have you had enough me time? Enough away from this? Think about what you want to say. Understanding yourself. How am I feeling right now in this moment? What do I want to communicate? Without that, how do you expect anyone to respond to you the way you need in that moment? After you understand what you want to say, then it's, are you willing to listen? Are you willing to listen long enough, understand how the person you're speaking with communicates, how they perceive and understand and receive information? And lastly, of course, if you don't have it where you need it to be, are you willing to adjust? Are you willing to change it up? Change the style so that you communicate effectively. And so, as I said, I am joined by my wonderful husband, War Chief. War Chief, where you at?
I am the one and the only, the lovable War Chief. What is up, everybody?
He is joining us today.
Oh, it was weird hearing myself in my head like that.
He's also the producer, so he has to check the mics and stuff. But yeah, War Chief, how are you today?
I am amazing.
Oh,
Some
yeah?
would say phenomenal.
Oh, most. Yeah?
Oh.
How's your day going?
Oh, like I said, phenomenal. How's your day going?
My day was good. My day was interesting. My job, we have these things where we, kind of do surveys and figure out how people feel about the current situation at work. And so today was an interesting follow-up meeting on that. All about communication.
Ooh.
How do we work together?
Man, imagine your bosses weren't too thrilled about that. I mean, unless they got good reviews. Just saying.
Well, there's always room for improvement. So
Yeah,
let me go ahead. I'm
pretty
still on the
long
clock,
list.
if you feel me. I'm still there, so I gotta. But yeah, everybody has room for improvement. So we just kind of talked about the places where we would have to improve. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hear.
But there was something interesting that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got there, of course, with any group dynamic, there are going to be those who rub you the wrong way. Did you have that today? I know you did. You don't even have to drop it down, chat. Go ahead and talk about it if you want, but I know it's a yes. But yeah, so, when I first got there were some people who wasn't quite a cohesive situation. Let me say it like that. A little bit of back and forth, a little more than I would have wanted. And it took some time. And it was mostly also because our team was in a lot of growth, like our company is in a lot of growth. And so we were growing faster than we could fill out positions and kind of take off the workload off of a few of us. And so it was pretty tense. And yeah, so there's a couple. And today after the meeting, I was just like, you know what, forget this. It's been how many years? 3, 4, yes. I've talked to them normally. It's just understanding people. Understand how people communicate. And so there was an opportunity for me to give a shout out to one of them who I felt was doing an excellent job. He was extremely stressed. And I know he, rubbed me the wrong way because of that. And so tried to give him a wide berth as much as possible. But I gave him a shout out. Interesting enough. Interestingly enough, he actually cried.
Yeah.
Right there in the meeting when I gave the shout out. That was cool.
That's actually pretty powerful, and it speaks to the environment and the communication of everybody in that environment. Like that's kind of a, I don't know, it sounds like a beaten dog syndrome, like where the I'm sorry,
go ahead. Yeah.
I can hear all my,
yeah, as long as you've already checked that we're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank goodness.
I appreciate you, producer. Produce the man.
But it kind of speaks to like a beaten dog syndrome, to be honest. That's what it sounds like. I'm not saying that like his supervisor's mean and all that, but it can become collective. Like, see, that's the one thing about like with men.
Yeah.
Like, if there's not what we consider a shred of, like comforting or not really comforting, appreciation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, just like we're talking about, like in life, so like if you're having a rough home life, you're having a rough work life, you're having a rough night life, well, then that means you're not going to be eating correctly. You're not, like, so it all adds up. So like just the sheer act of someone saying, "Hey, good job," yeah, that could bring a human being just like to tears.
Yeah.
So no, I could understand that because I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The one thing is you guys get a general glimpse. We know exactly who we're talking about.
Oh, we know names, addresses. Chief and I have great communication about stuff like work.
Yeah.
You have to talk.
And it feels like these days, like you can literally talk so plainly that it almost feels like code to these like younger generations. Like with all these people, how are you doing that? Well, there ain't no secret to it. It's just be honest.
What do you mean? How are you doing what? How are you doing what? I want you to expound a little bit.
I don't know. As soon as you put me on the spot for a second, I forgot.
He's a little nervous. He's got butterflies. Chief runs a gaming channel, and I've been trying to push him. I see what you're doing. I know you set up the gaming channel, so you can help me set up my channel. Well, but I'm like, at the same time, sir, you have so much to say that if you are only playing a game and these people never hear you talk.
Well, that's why, like, when you and I discussed streaming Monday, yesterday, yeah. Sometimes in this office, it feels like just time stands still. Like I forgot.
He's
today
looked
was
into
Tuesday.
the darkness.
I forgot today was Tuesday. To be honest, like,
yeah.
This morning I'm like, is this Monday or is this Thursday? Like, it was such a big gap. But well, like with your channel, you touch so many people that I do my absolute best not to. Like, I want it to go right.
Yeah.
So,
I understand.
but I am, like, you have been encouraging me to kind of just, like, stretch into myself. And see, that's the thing is, like, you guys think this is really a show with, like bullet points, things like that. This really isn't. This is actually Crystal talking from the heart. She has a general idea and she flows. So you guys have no idea how much this conversation is actually more for me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm listening on multiple platforms, but I'm listening to her in my head for about 12 hours a day, and I love hearing her voice. So,
oh, thank you. I was like, this could go really wrong. I appreciate it.
I hear her in my head.
I'm in your head.
I get it. Thank you, Fox. I get it. I would say it's
I know. Just be yourself, Chief.
no, I get that. I've actually you've actually encouraged me to be a lot more comfortable with my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, I've been able to community network. Like in before, when I started doing this, I looked at it raw.
Okay.
See, this is where this is why I am nervous about your channel, because my channel was just, I was treating it like YouTube.
How so?
Just views. I don't care where they come from. Just views. You know, just get people here, get people here, get people here.
Okay.
So it was like grinding follows for follows.
Mm-hmm.
And it got my numbers up. Got them up fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I had nothing. I had no one to talk to. I had no one to interact in my chat. I had a few people, but you know, the fly-by-night type thing.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not doing much else. I would just click on
I'm
it,
just
see what
happy
he's
to be
talking
here.
about. Yeah.
And you encouraged me to be more myself. And so I started doing games I liked, you know, so it was engaging myself. Then you encouraged me, oh, why don't you do a little bit more talking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, we had some of our best nights. You know, I had more people watching my channel because you were encouraging me. Mm-hmm. Guys, you have no idea that this is how we talk to each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, we hardly watch TV.
Yeah, not anymore.
At all. We may get in a mood to binge watch The Office or Parks and Rec. You know what I mean?
We old, y'all.
Yeah, I was we know what we like.
Yeah.
It's hard to find anything funny these days.
Well, I feel like some of the newer shows are just yeah. They're missing some of that connectedness that the older shows once had. Yeah.
But and then on top of that, I was I didn't have a community. I had no one to really engage with. Well, the more you encourage me, the more I actually have a group of people. The minute I show up, will just show up just to listen to me babble like a raving goober.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the creepy uncle, but that weird uncle where it's hey, you know what? If you talk to him, you're gonna be there for a while. So just strap in.
Yes.
I am that uncle.
Yeah. He's that uncle that'll talk your ear off. Son, did I tell you this story? Yes, 20 times. Let me tell you one more again.
You may have forgotten one detail. But you encouraged me, and then we had a great stream yesterday. You know, and unfortunately my OBS is being an BS.
Yeah.
Promised her I'd behave, guys. I promise.
You're doing a great job. Don't worry about it. You're doing a good job. Just relax. Mm-hmm.
But that's why we weren't able to stream last night. It's just OBS and Discord would not cooperate together, by any stretch of the imagination last night.
Yeah.
So, I was really excited about getting this done today. And it's been encouragement, you know. I love working on your videos, you know. Your channel's awesome. So
I appreciate that. Thank you, baby. And you do. You're doing a great job. It's a lot of work. A lot more work than people give it credit for. And those streamers, I know Foxy for sure. She's hanging out with us right now. Foxy is a streamer. And she's got some other interest in calligraphy. In fact, she's doing working on my brain right now. So Foxy, I appreciate that. I'm not doing a check-in. Just relax. But that's right. She watches the streamers. And that's what I was trying to explain to Chief. I was like, Chief, they will come watch you for yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what you're doing. You could be playing a game or you could be, producing like you were.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They showed up for you. They enjoyed it.
I mean, yeah, y'all did show up for the most boring thing I can imagine. And Crystal was with me last night. I finished the video. Mm-hmm. The Splitgate video to DMX.
Yes. X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, Crystal here was with me last night. Sat up. She's like, "Oh my God, would you just finish it?" I'm like, "I am." No, she was really cool about it. Mm-hmm. She was really patient. She even got excited when we had the finished product. And sorry, I feel like I got something on the teeth.
You did not floss off camera. Chief, focus. What happened? On your stream.
Oh, the fact I subjected these people to the same song over and over. Not even the whole song.
No.
Like, it was just like fractions of the song over and over for 2 hours. And we still had a great time. People still like hanging out in the chat, So you showed me, like, you helped me build a community of actual of streamers, and so it's been really encouraging. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You didn't even have to even announce it. Chief, it's okay. That's good though. That's good. And so you're learning about yourself then.
I am. Let's say
I've told Chief before. Chief, you can sell ice to an Eskimo. You can. You absolutely can. And so the fact that you're even nervous to be in front of a camera just talking like you do.
I ain't gonna lie, guys, she's speaking facts. Like, I was so nervous to be on camera for so long. I've stood in front of crowds of people. Mm-hmm. But sitting in front of a camera just makes me feel weird.
That's okay. Yeah.
I don't know, I guess the concept at first just made me feel like dirty. I don't know. It's just like someone's watching me.
Extra.
Read all about it.
Weird all about it.
I said read all about it, but that works too.
But yeah, I've been thinking about this communication topic. I was like, Yeti brought up a good point. He was like, what about couples looking through each other's phones?
Yep.
What do you think about that? I kind of expressed myself a little bit. I can recap real quick. I just said, yes, absolutely. Why wouldn't you know each other's passcodes? Why would your password be a secret from your significant other, spouse? Like, why? Why would you, and it may not be intentional, but for those who are doing it intentionally, why? Why would you do that?
I would say, I think it's perfectly fine for your spouses. Because to have your phone pass locked where your spouse can't get into it, that almost guarantees no trust in the relationship. Because there's no trust in the relationship. That means, I don't know. That means, like, if you have a passcode on your phone and we're married, that means you got shady shit going on. To me, that's a red flag of shady shit. Like, I'm not demanding to be on your phone.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as a spouse, that should be an option.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, can I look at your phone? Oh, yeah. Like, we've done that many times. Where you're like, hey, baby, would you look this up? And we're driving. I'll just hand you my phone and be like, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, her thumbprint. I'll probably have to add it to my new phone, but.
Yeah. I already know the code.
Yeah.
Know how to get it in. Yeah, get into it. I've done it many a time since we gotten it. Yeah.
So, I mean, and honestly, like, I don't see the point of hiding a secret from my spouse. I just don't.
Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense. And now, if you're dating, you know what I mean? Like, you're not living together. No, I would say.
Why?
No, I don't trust you with nothing, because your phone is your bank and your information.
Yes.
All your personal contacts, all your social medias, you know, especially if you're a content creator. And most people these days kind of are a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've really gotten good at becoming brands, like you talked about. You know, we are our own brands. So the more that's been known, the more. So, I mean, you're putting all that in jeopardy in a dating scenario.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, if your girlfriend's like, let me see your phone or else, and be like, because that's you're trying to control me. You're trying to force your way into my space.
Yes.
Like, as men, we don't get a lot of space already.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
So, as boyfriend, girlfriend, yes. You know, like, there's a division. There's definitely a wall there.
Yeah.
You're not to invade my space. As a spouse, well, we're supposed to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. You know, I know it's, you know, a little like it. The saying has been twisted, you know, to be funny. You know, what's yours is mine. What's mine is mine. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in that concept.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, first of all, okay, when we say dating, we do not mean 7 years of dating. Honey, you is married. Yeah. You is common law.
And that's, you know what?
You is common law. Why ain't you said I do yet?
And, you know, I feel like if you're waiting that long, it's a cop-out. It's that emergency exit.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I love it. Go ahead. It's kind of a cop-out.
It is. It really is a cop-out. Because if me and Crystal have been, we've been married 5 years. Mm-hmm. We've dated 5 years, 6 months. Like, because we just got tired of it. Because we both have dated.
Yes.
I've been married once before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't feel like I had time anymore to mess around. So that wasn't fair. Like, that's why I was like, there's no way anybody would be willing, you know, like, willingly be around me if, like, my brain just starts falling apart. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I was told was going to happen to me. And
why was that? In case people are just...
I got diagnosed with concussion syndrome. Mm-hmm. You know, too many head injuries, just too much.
From?
Wrestling, martial arts, being a bodyguard, combat sports with weapons. You know what I mean? You get hit in the head a lot. So it's just an inevitability. Like, you know, everybody, there's the old adage, well, if you're good, you don't get hit in the head. Yeah, good luck with that.
If you're doing choreographed wrestling, you can
still get hit. You know what I mean? Like,
that stuff is real. It's just scripted real.
Yeah,
but it's real.
It's scripted real.
Foxy said, my fiance can if he wants, but doesn't because he trusts me. I feel like if you have trust, you shouldn't need to.
Well, like, that's perfectly fine. Like, that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. Is like what you said. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. First of all, that's your fiance.
Yes.
Secondly, the fact that he doesn't want to look at your phone, that's actually a person you want to be around, because not only does that me saying, you know, not only saying, yeah, I trust you.
Yeah.
But it's still an option. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference is having the option and not taking it.
Yeah.
Nah, see, y'all are playing house at this point. 9 years. That's playing house. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when it okay.
Well, she said my fiance, so they're in the process. Give her, you know, the credit.
9 years.
She's moving the direction. Do you have a date set? Is a question. Chief is chief for a reason. I told you he wasn't as gentle as Crystal. He's not as gentle as I am, so.
I would say,
But we need that every
rough
now and again.
edges. No, like,
You said she's she has a fiance. He's getting used to it.
see now, like Fox, I do understand that. Like, all right, I would say I can understand. If it's a divorce thing, you know what I mean? It took me a while to track down my ex. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thankfully my ex was willing to sign the papers like immediately, you know, and Crystal was with me during the whole time, so it was pretty awesome. Like, yeah, and she refused to actually like date me. We didn't go on no dates.
None.
We talked over the phone until like I got my divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And that after I got my divorce is when the 6 months began, you know, of dating.
Yeah. But that's good. That's right. You know, if you trust, and I think that's a war chief, of course. And
that's the big
and
thing.
Foxy was saying that if you trust.
Yeah, we're essentially saying the same thing.
If you trust, then you won't have to.
Exactly.
But if if it's convenient, hey, my phone's all the way in the kitchen, we're sitting right here. Hey, what's that number really quick? Or where did you say that was? Or blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't you just open the phone?
Or you know what? To me, it also alleviates insecurity.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, okay, as men, we like to, we know that people, kind of peck around our kill, you know what I mean? Like, so we know that,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's always vultures of some kind.
Yes.
We know that. And the trust to be like, hey, I'm feeling insecure, but that goes with communication, guys. Like, you have to be able to communicate, and it's not a weakness. It's just speaking insecurity. This would make me feel better if I knew this. You know what I mean? And be sure you want to know. That's the catch.
Yes, in communication, that is a huge thing. So let me pause right here, Chief. You brought up a good point. So, Chief and I are older. I think you've picked that up. You've gathered that. We are mid-30s and up. And
I think just mid-30s.
And so we have a history. Chief already said he was already married once. And I've had my past. I'm be open about it. I dated. I never got to the point where I was engaged to anyone, but it was quickly approaching.
Yeah.
Quickly approaching. Where they had met my family, and it was just kind of okay, is this yes or no? Anywho, we have pasts. One thing we have learned in communication: if you do not want to know, do not ask. Body count, body count, body count. People are obsessed with knowing that. People are obsessed with building one for some reason. But body counts. I've never asked Chief. He was a bodyguard and a bouncer. I gotta figure out what that looks like in Vegas.
Yeah.
He's never asked me mine.
Don't care.
He does not care. Personally, I don't want to know. I don't need to know. I'm at the point where I'm like, it is what it is. We've also allowed enough time between relationships to cut things off, to be really separated from that person. So I don't need to know every detail. But what I did ask was certain ways of how he handled relationships. And so if there were people that were serious, I asked him, okay, how many serious relationships did you have? Serious. where you were either close to being, okay, if you dated more than 3 years, I'm going to call it serious. How many serious relationships did you have? Because even if you're like, well, I'm kind of doing this on the side. No, after 3 years, there is a connection there, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you. But so I asked him, okay, how many of those situations did you have? Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I keep kicking this stand that has all this stuff on it. And we will get that fixed because I got to be comfortable. I'm like a cat. But how many serious relationships? Okay, of those serious relationships, how did they end? How did they end? And then what was your response to it? Whether you chose to end it and why? Because that was just enough information for me to understand how he processed his emotion, connection, and breaking up a heartbreak. How do you process heartbreak? You obviously were with this person for 3. Why were you with them so long? That is a good question. That's a good question. Why were you with them so long? If it was something to do on the side and that was just who you went back to. Why? Just enough. Whatever. Bedroom situation was on point. Okay. That's enough information. I don't need no details. I don't need no more than that. Okay, next. But those kind of questions I think are important. Foxy says, I've never cared enough to count. Oh, Foxy. But you engaged now. That's okay. It's okay. And I'm not saying that to be down on anybody. Because what we've learned in relationships is that each new long-term commitment like that becomes a new connection that then has to be severed. As well as there's just so much that you will pull from that person. Whether people like it or not, you become more like the person you're around. You're like the 5 people around you. Why would you not be like the person you are intimate in a relationship with? Mannerisms, your habits, your interests, they become similar. And so I don't say that, to put anybody down. We already said we have what some would consider higher body counts. We've said that. We did. So I'm not putting anybody down. What I'm saying is, if you have an opportunity to turn that ship around and not do that, we would advise that.
Because, okay, that's I think that's something that may get lost in translation when people speak about relationship or giving advice. Because we're not really giving advice at all. What we're saying is what helped us make it through.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea what it's like to see two true, and the people that know me, especially the people where I'm from, they know me. I was a dumpster fire waiting just to explode.
Yes.
Someone just decided to drop C4, I was a mentally dangerous individual. And she was heartbroken. She was betrayed.
I was a wreck.
Oh, yeah.
I was not the polished individual that shit before you today. I was a mess, guys. I had just come out of one of most heartbreaking, abusive, mentor-like relationships I had in my life. It was devastating. And I quickly unraveled. I did.
That was tough to
watch. Because Chief That's why you got to have good people around you. You see, what I understood about Chief's background, the bodyguard work, he had told me, I'm a decent judge of character. When I open my heart completely, I lose sight a little bit until something wears off. So with mentors, especially people I admired from a distance for a while, I've kind of taken notes, understood them.
And in the need of a father figure too.
Yeah, in the need of a father figure. But I had misinterpreted some of the signs. What I thought was harmless did not turn out to be so harmless.
Yeah.
And so I had questioned some things, but I was like, maybe I'm interpreting it the wrong way. When you're too close to a situation, too close to see what's really going on. And so Chief, of course, having the bodyguard work and background of reading people, he was like, "Oh no, you got to get away from this person immediately."
Yeah,
it was not okay. It was not okay. And so we've discussed that situation, and we'll talk about it more. Midnight is trying to break in here. We've officially kicked her out of this room.
Yeah.
You're fired. You gotta go, Midnight. No.
Yeah. Oh,
she
my
was
goodness.
I'm sorry for all those earbud listeners and randomly shouting like I've got Tourette's. Yeah. Anyway,
at least we're not going, hello. You know what I mean? Like that where they have to keep adjusting the volume.
Yes. But him being on the outside of the situation, he was like, no, this is not okay. What's happening here is very off and you need to get away from him. And so I began that process. And he had what we would call a meltdown.
Oh, not me.
No, not Chief. Not Chief.
Her mentor.
My mentor.
For real.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it was bad, but like, seeing that kind of response from a grown adult, it was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's good. I'm glad I got out of that. But I unraveled very quickly. Because I couldn't believe that, something like that had happened when I was older. And so I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that mentally. And Chief was there helping me to deal with it mentally and emotionally. So I appreciate you for that. See, Foxy. Yeah, we talking about relationships. But Foxy, I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to come out and say that. I appreciate that. She knows our beliefs. She knows where we stand with things, generally.
Like I said,
we're that is very different. It is dynamic. But like you said, kind of to the main point, honesty, trust, communication. Most important in any.
I think Yeti fled the chat.
He flooded the chat. What does that mean?
Oh, he said he fled the chat. And then you said we're talking about relationships, And
no. See, Yeti, you missed the whole thing where we talked about phones, but you already know our belief on it. But go ahead and drop a question in the chat. We like Yeti knows. We know some of these people here personally. They are streamers. They've got their own thing going on. They've entrusted us with some of the details of their lives, and we won't do that to them. We won't put any of your personal information in the stream. You know that, Yeti. But if you want to ask a general conversation, hey, what do you think about this? Just like you did about the phones, go ahead and drop it down. We'll talk about it.
I mean, like, this is the one thing is me and Crystal, we had to really discuss so many dynamics because we had both been essentially screwed over. Throughout by a variety of people. So it's one of those... Like
everyone has.
Yeah, like everybody has. So we decided, like, you know what? We're just going to confront these things. These are things I don't like. These are the things that I don't care for.
Yeah.
You know, listen, if we're going to start dating, this is going to be a marriage. You know, like, we're going to date as if we are engaged, and this is going to lead to marriage. And I was like, bet.
Yeah. I was like, okay, it is or it isn't. I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, it is or it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we did. We approached it like that. We're like, okay, right off. We're exclusive.
Yep.
We were at the time dating several people. And I know Yeti's asked that question, and I see your new question. I'll be sure to address it. But dating multiple people at the same time, you know, I was like, yeah, that's fine. Do you have to sleep with everyone? No, you don't. We'd advise that you don't. But trying to see what people are about, what they're talking about, you won't know until you can have one-on-one with them. When you become exclusive, that's kind of the point we're talking about.
And I think, like, you know, whenever you ask, like, you know,
so we were dating multiple people when we first met each other, and then we started talking. We were still kind of talking to several people, see what was going on. You know, we had some suitors or whatever, both of us. And so we were like, okay, let's see what's going on. Okay. And then boom, it was kind of like a match. So we didn't have to get online to do a bunch of dating. It was more so general vicinity. We don't like that long distance stuff, guys.
that's for the birds.
We did it and we didn't care for it. But anywho, so yeah, talking to multiple people at the same time, no problem. Keep them options open, absolutely. So blackout angry, getting blackout angry, Chief. Go ahead and speak on it.
All right, getting blackout angry. Okay.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was forced out of being able to get blackout angry.
How so?
This is like, for people with anger issues, y'all will understand. This is the most tormentorous concept I can think of with someone with anger issues.
Okay.
With concussion syndrome, if my blood pressure rises up too high, it just, because the swelling in my brain, it becomes too much and I go into a seizure.
Yeah.
So I have to be as calm as a Hindu cow.
Wow.
Or I go into seizures. Like, if I just get just pissed enough where my heart, like, where my heart rate, like, would hit, like, shoot, my average was what, 190? Every time we got my blood pressure checked, it was high.
It was really high.
Like, all the time.
Yeah.
And just...
So you couldn't get blackout angry.
I wasn't allowed to. And so, like, I had to actually learn how to communicate as calmly as I can.
I can believe it, yeah.
So I had to learn a whole new language of communication, and that was the hardest. And like, people with anger issues, and I got them. They're still there. I'll have moments where Crystal will be driving and someone will like cut her off, and I will just like immediate rage, and then I have to like immediately come back down.
Really? I don't think. See, Chief has such a calm demeanor. You do.
Like,
you're a very chill person.
I have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I had to learn how to be. I had to calm down.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I was gonna die, or just be a vegetable.
Yeah, because he had some anger issues when he was younger. But blackout angry, Yeti, if you are getting to the point where you are so infuriated with the situation that your brain would rather forget what's happening, you've gone too far. You got to pull back. A lot of times in conversations, Chief and I would just be like,
Yep.
I'm going to need 10 minutes because this has gone from a 1 to a 7 quick.
Yep.
And I am not comfortable with this. We used to yell. Actually, I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out of the first apartment we was in, to be honest. Them walls was paper thin. You know what it is? I think the neighbors was enjoying it.
We had some good ones.
Mari.
Oh, we had some good ones. And to be honest with y'all, we really questioned whether we were going to make it, to be honest, a lot.
Yeah.
But we just got closer because she had to learn how to communicate in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
Because she felt betrayed. She felt taken advantage of.
Yeah, my trust had been broken.
Yeah, her trust had been broken. So it was like, I'm trying to think of it like a good analogy.
I had to first of all open my heart to you to believe you.
Well, it's like dealing with like a super skittish cat. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a lot of clawing. There's going to be a lot of biting. You know, eventually you just gotta. Okay, well, when you're ready for me to pet you, I will.
Yeah.
And you just gotta put in the time and communicate.
And both of us had an option to leave. We considered those options. We have had to take breaks from each other.
Yep.
Where it was just so heated, things were so tense that I was like, I think you should go stay with your parents just for a couple days. Just for a couple days.
Yeah.
His parents, or he would drive out of town and go see his parents.
Yeah.
Just chill up for the weekend. Because blackout angry should not be an option. And if you are getting to the point where you're throwing stuff, I was throwing stuff, guys.
I mean,
it's too much.
You are right. Too much. You are right, Bern. Like that people that have those issues that are able to calm down as they get older. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that monster's never dead. Yeah. Like the aggression of pure, unadulterated rage and anger, that's a powerful weapon to wield. It really is.
Yeah.
And the more skilled you are, the smarter you are, the more ferocious you are. And I used to compete, so I understand that tingling, that excitement and fear and just overwhelming anger.
Yeah.
It's highly intoxicating. It never dies though.
I know, I'm surprised y'all don't have secret fight clubs. I know the first rule, but I'm surprised men don't have just fight club. How do you guys let out all this energy?
Actually, it's funny you say that.
How do you do that?
Well, hold on real quick. Yell in anger, raise my voice out of frustration. No,
I haven't seen Yeti do that.
Yeah,
I know, Bern. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'll wait to see if Yeti comes back with the black eye. Don't mean you lost. Hold up now. I ain't putting you down, son. Don't think I'm putting you down. But
no.
Anywho,
that's the thing is we understand.
Yeah, we absolutely. I understand. There's so much, especially if there is a child involved.
Oh, thankfully,
if there's a child involved, I could see me going blackout. Mm-hmm. If you were trying to leave, or I was trying to leave, and that child had to choose, and it's the thought of having to make that child choose now, and then, we were building something, blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden I was like, yeah, me and the baby were leaving. I could see you getting blackout angry.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure at that point you'd have to be like, really? Really? You could feel it go up to 10 and you're like, okay, let me go do some things.
Actually, Fox does make a good point, and I think that's what I was going to say whenever you asked me. Like, what do we do? Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is like, because violence is not as acceptable as it once was, like, it was okay. All right. Amongst the Vikings, it was okay to bury an axe just into a human being. Yeah. If you're in a bar fight, somebody died.
You just felt like it. Mm-hmm.
Like if just someone loses their temper just far enough, then they came up with laws against murder. Because that would be considered murder. And then when I was growing up, if you had an issue, you could literally take it out behind the gym and nobody would give two shits about it. Yeah. Well, now it's different. So instead of, and those that are not physically capable of that level of violence, you have to throw it down somehow. So video games.
We're all capable of just kind of like getting, even the just go to the boxing gym and put on a pair of gloves.
True, but like the euphoria is the same between,
I understand.
Me punching a bag and someone that's smaller and weaker than me taking out somebody in PvP.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that. Absolutely.
And so
it's the accomplishment of a victory.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It doesn't have to be physical violence to be a victory. I get it. Just like the same endorphins that chocolate releases. But yeah, video game, sex, whatever, besides anger. But yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's.
But yeah,
it's a unique dynamic. It
definitely
really is.
And Yeti, I'm proud of you because I know I haven't really seen you upset like that. I know you have, and I'm pretty sure you've had many reasons to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
but
that's
I'm proud of you because you've learned to pull back. You've learned to control it. That's all you gotta do. Learn to control it, funnel it. Like they said, right channel, right place, right time.
Yeah.
That's all you have to wait for.
And like the true mark of masculinity, especially with age, is that ability to contain it.
Yes.
So if anything, you should be more proud of yourself for being able to contain it, knowing that you can, weather a storm.
I actually thought about that today, Chief. I was like, what does it mean? Because in the Bible, it says, when I was a child, I think like a child. I acted like a child. But now that I'm an adult, I put childish things away. What does that actually mean? It means, like you said, part of that. Being able to know right time, right place. Children are uncontrolled. Just wilding. They don't know right time, right place. If you need to learn how to ask. You need to learn. Everybody has wants. Everybody has desires. There's a time and a place to act a certain way, and there's a way to communicate what you want. Well,
and I think there's a misunderstanding when it comes to childish things.
Yeah.
See, and I think that's what pushes a lot of people away from what.
We'll talk about it in person, Yeti.
I would say, Burn, the older we get, the bigger the children we become.
Yes.
Because that's where the happiness is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like
childish things,
it's not what society has told us that it's childish. Video games are childish. Well, no, it's recreation.
Yeah.
Like anything. Like exactly. You can drink too much, you can play too much video games, you can smoke too much pot.
Yeah.
You can shoot up too much heroin, you can snort too much Parmesan
Why is it all drug comparison?
But I'm saying it's like I'm
thinking like basketball, football, physical sports and things and such.
Yeah, there's extreme levels. That's what pro levels are.
Exactly.
And see, that's the thing. Is like Toys R Us, the Toys R Us Kids for Life thing, that honestly should have been geared more towards the adults too, because they may be more inclined to spend for their child,
Of course.
But anyway, childish things is not like anime it's that doesn't matter.
No.
Now, if you're engaging in it like in a unhealthy way,
yeah,
then that's a problem.
Anytime you're watching excessive amounts of television because you are trying to escape real life, of course it's too much. Just use good judgment. We all have our toys, we all have our interests. I know people who make kilts and beekeeping.
Oh, it's all good, man, dude. It's completely to us.
Yeah, please keep talking. We love this. Yeah. And so,
that, you know what, Fox? That's actually pretty accurate. What I was trying to say. It's not just your reactions; it's your mental development.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I do something wrong and I get caught, do I have the moral fortitude to be an adult?
Come on.
And turn myself in, or am I going to be a child and run to my mom, to my dad?
Oh gosh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. Or okay, yeah, your parents may be crippled. That's one thing, but you have to know what it's like to be an adult.
Yes.
Immediately. So you do have to put childish things down a little sooner.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean don't be who you are. Don't like, it's not saying don't like the things you like. I love anime. I love Viking stuff. I love Roman stuff. I love all kinds of things. I make leather, stuff. We know somebody that makes a kilt.
Yeah. Woodworking.
Yeah.
We know a lot of different people.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
I have several interests. I'm not going to put myself in a box and say that's childish.
No.
If I'm going to make something goofy, I'll make something goofy.
Yeah, your time is your own.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want your personal time to look like? That's why I say you got to know yourself. You have to know yourself. Now, if you just watch it just to watch it because you've always watched it, is that really knowing yourself? I like to try different things. I'm like, what if I did try gardening? I have a black thumb, and not because of race. I kill stuff. I get yearly orchids. But knowing yourself, what do you like? But your time is your own. Your time is your own. If you want to spend the rest of your life watching anime, that is your choice.
And you
have free will
too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is, like,
now, do I think you should only do that? No, because there's just so much.
And there's
just so much in life to experience than to spend behind just one screen,
Mm-hmm.
And so recently, Chief and I, we used to watch a ton of TV. Mm-hmm. We were guilty of it, especially those early years of marriage. First of all, we didn't have much to do, much money, or
Oh yeah.
But we were also kind of healing. And if you're in a relationship where you're married, and right now we're just trying to work through our stuff, it's okay to tuck away. I think that's healthy. So yeah, we watched a lot of TV just kind of to ourselves, and we'd have a lot of conversation.
Lots of Judge Judy.
We was broke. We was on them antennas. We had an antenna. I don't think they don't even have antennas anymore. They got the plug-in USB into the TV for the local stations. But I was like, dude, this is educational. Like, what if we can't pay our rent? We is broke right now. What kind of rights do we have as squatters? Just for the low.
That ain't no lie, guys. It's no lie.
I was like, they have the right to do what?
Then like I would run.
But I was like, also, okay, what if we become homeowners and we run out? Yeah. What kind of rights do the tenants have? Just stuff like that. But anyway, so we watch a lot of TV. But we understand it. But after a while, you want to kind of live. Mm-hmm. And so we did tuck away. But now we barely watch any TV. We mostly scroll on our phone when we finally have time, because I work all day, Chief's working all day, and when we finally sit on the couch, if we're not talking directly to each other, yeah.
Well, see, okay, well, there's okay.
Mm-hmm.
With
interwebs.
Interwebs. The interzones.
Yeah, go ahead. There's a difference.
No, I get that. No, I get the escape. Believe me, because I'm like, the reason that I know most y'all in here is because I found y'all's content.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a fan of it, or like it was someone to talk to, or think. I mean, like, so I get that. That's an escape.
Mm-hmm.
But see, okay, when we're talking about like the early parts of our marriage,
yeah,
those things. The dynamic has actually gotten better to the point where what healed us through it, I guess the missing translation is we're kind of like telling our story and what we learned in those moments. Like, those were lessons we needed in those moments.
Yeah.
So, yes, you should have an escape into the virtual world of some kind. me and Crystal, we play contractors, and when we play contractors
on VR Oculus Quest,
we throw down. Like, we talk about hours.
Yeah.
We throw down.
Yeah.
We talk smack. We make little children cry. We make people feel
I
bad.
think they smack talking.
Yeah.
Knock down a pig.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, when now that we're healthier people,
Yeah.
the world around us is dark enough. So we do have to find that. We do have to find our.
Yes.
We have to find our victories where we can.
Yeah.
So it just so happens that we all can't sit in a bar or tavern or great hall right
Especially
now.
now with COVID, if you was in the middle of it.
I mean, now
We gotta get back to normal. Get used to being around each other with not a mask.
This virtual world, like the virtual world, has changed everything.
Definitely.
Like, when it comes to, okay, the reason that our channels are growing the way they are as quickly as they are is because we have a great community. So essentially, if we were running a bar, you guys would be in here buying drinks.
Yep.
Like, that's what this is.
I'd be on the stage.
As long as it's not like some of those creepy ladies from, like, Kitchen Nightmares, you know.
I need an extra. Welcome back to the show. No.
I think I'd quit. No, I'm kidding. No,
What'd
I
you
said
say?
ride or die. I said ride or die.
What did you say?
I said, I don't know. I think I would quit.
No, I'd be introducing the next acts. I'd be the goofy MC.
Yeah, she's actually
And the
really
host.
good at being a host.
But yeah,
Really
but it would be like a bar setting. You come in, you belly up to the bar. Chief would be like, "What's your poison?"
I mean,
And y'all
like,
would have a conversation
see, like, so that
about
that's,
life.
that's where, like, gaming for men is basically how we hunt, because we didn't just hunt for food; we hunted for aggression. You know, so that, like, we've had to translate it to new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No, well,
definitely, and a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I'm starting to wonder if Burn is like Skynet. I think Burn's Skynet.
Oh yeah.
See, like, okay,
Strongest.
I'll share my tomorrow's subject on VR Valhalla is Burn is an AI. He's Skynet.
That's very, very intelligent.
Like,
I understand, Yeti. Yeti, like, I don't need nothing else. I might black out if you give me one more thing in life. Give me that water, H2O.
versus cell. Tomorrow I'm going to share my conspiracy of how Burn is Skynet. So, like we were saying, our outlets have changed.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, like, okay, what the internet has done, what Twitch has done, has what the internet and Twitch has done is it's actually expanded not only our information, but do you realize that we're much smarter now than we were 10 years ago?
Of course.
You know, well, I'm talking about just like, especially tech. If you would have caught me in high school and told me we'd have cell phones, or the stuff you see on Star Trek is actually physically possible, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Trekkie nerd, but
Exactly. But you didn't think it was possible
yeah,
at that point.
I didn't think it was possible, and now here we are. So I think the fact that we can broaden our want to be around people,
Yeah.
to surround ourselves with communities. Well, this just expanded it. Some people misuse it. A lot of people misuse it, whether for be propaganda, pornography, or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're always going to find a dark side.
Of course.
Exactly. Like, you can find anything anywhere.
People are always going to have the same intentions. Technology is going to enable that, and the reach is going to be broader. They're the same people. They're the same people.
So, I mean, like, yes, we do need to have an escape.
Mhm.
See, that's why men like.
Oh, we
Yeah.
were talking about that, right? Okay, so some people, there's a communication issue, going back to communication, where men and women communicate very differently. Now, some women communicate and can communicate with men very effectively, and vice versa. But overall, just very generally different. And so we were talking about that. Now,
All right, when we say
when
different,
men,
there's still similarities between,
that's
like.
what I just said.
Well,
baby.
but I'm
It's
saying,
okay.
to eliminate a.
No, I think we're all intelligent in here. They understood what I was saying. And
Yeah, I'll
so
break out the crayons in a second.
we got a special pack for you, and they got flavors on them. They taste how they look. Anyway, so women have misunderstood men in understanding that when they come home, they don't want a chore list immediately. They don't. Why are you gonna do that? Especially if they're the only breadwinner in the house. Let's say, like Chief said, men they actually prefer their women not to have to work. Not to have to be a bunch of men around them. Not having to deal with these stresses of that kind of. Why don't you just stay here and, deal with my kingdom? And so women who do have that opportunity to stay home, or men, however you want to deal with that. When the person first comes out, why are you stressing them? Flip side, women, if you were to go shopping all day for the household, those who do stay home, here's kind of a perspective for you. Let's say you went and did all the errands. You didn't even get to do anything for yourself. You said, okay, little Johnny needs this, little Shaniqua, let's throw in some. Little Win needs this. Everybody. I did this. I've been running for 8 hours. Sports is coming up. My husband needs this. Grocery list, blah, 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 blah. You get home full of bags in your arms, and the first thing they ask you is, where is dinner? Would you not be mad? Can I take my coat off? Get my maid outfit, get my duster, like Burns said. Like, seriously. And so, yeah, men want to come home. If their outlet is video gaming, let them game.
Well, like, and even then, like, what Yeti brought up. Like, okay. Not every, like, that, there's a I believe there's a misconception when it comes to, like, the male role. Like, yes, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Crystal, between us, is the main breadwinner.
Yes.
I bring in what I can, but it's to build.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like, yeah, I'd have to go back into security, like practically law enforcement level to catch up to her pay.
Yeah.
I would. That's fact. I mean, she's good at
and
her
job.
And
he could if he wanted to.
I
don't want him to have any more head injuries. I've never really wanted to be with a police officer. I think our men and women who do, and their families who can support them through that. Firefighters and stuff. People who put themselves in danger on a regular basis. That's not what I want to do. And I've never been the type of person that wanted to. I have a background in engineering and in the medical field, but I never wanted to be a doctor. Not personally. I want to help people, but to like barely see my family, I didn't want that. I didn't want that. And so we had to prioritize. So Chief, of course, background is bodyguarding, as we've said, martial arts and such. So my background is in the medical and engineering field. And so if we had to choose, and so, since he has not been able to get to that place, and sales has worked, but I want him to love what he did. He never really did, and he found what he did love, what he does love. And it fits with what I want to do. And I knew that the moment I met him. So I was like, why wouldn't you stay and do this? If you're going to build our kingdom, I want to give you time and space to do so. So he stay at home.
And you guys and Monday was literally what I do every day.
Yeah. So he's cutting up my videos.
Yeah.
So after 8 hours of working, he's supposed to come and do that? I don't even want to hear my voice sometimes after 8 hours.
I ain't gonna lie.
So for him to do all, no, just stay home. Don't worry about them. They're crazy anyway. These people is crazy. I'm not ready for you to go down a career path if you don't really see yourself there. You're getting older. What do we really want? Knowing self. Put the phone down. Focus on yourself. What do I really want? Chief, we're older. Look, if we want to retire anytime soon, we've got to get you on a career path. And what do we want to say? Do we really want to work for people for the rest of our lives?
And that's the thing is when we first started dating, we told each other the one thing we've always wanted to do for profession. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to be a writer. Right. I love writing, and she loves writing. So we sit and we'll talk about books all day long.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Or great stories, and we share that together.
Yeah.
And
I've been so wrapped up, and we both have, in marketing, editing, just all of our lives, general interests or career.
They actually matched up really well.
And so even when we watch TV, I'm like, why did they have that person stand there? I'm like, do you even know what that ad was about? Why did they pay millions of dollars doing the Super Bowl? What is this? What is this?
Oh, and she doesn't get mad when I figure out murder mystery movies in the first 10 minutes.
That kind of writer. Yes.
Yeah, I was we would saw Murder on the Oriental Express. Mm-hmm. 10 minutes. I know exactly who did it.
Yep.
And I explained to her how I knew. Mm-hmm. And everybody in the theater was like, shit. Oh, you wrote more in the story? Okay.
Nice. Foxy, I love that you're writing.
See, and that's the thing is I actually love reading people's stuff.
Yes.
Granted, me being dyslexic, it's really difficult at times. That's why I stutter so much.
But, okay, it takes you a little longer.
Well, but I'm saying, it does take me a little while to read through people's material, but I love... Yeah, Fox is a writer. She sent me some of her material.
I love it.
It's a book that she's been thinking about for a long time.
Okay.
And I'm one of those people...
What are we looking at for Fox? Do you mind if he gives just a couple details, just enough?
Well, actually, what I will say, because it's not my story to tell.
Yeah, that's why I asked permission.
Well, even then, it's not my story to tell.
Okay, I understand.
I'm a firm believer that if you have a story, I've written... It's called...
Yeah. Go for it. Okay. Just a tiny bit. Just overall, what genre is it written in?
I'd say more the science fiction category.
Okay.
I mean, fantasy, fiction type.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I've written, I never had published, but I've written over 20 books. Because I firmly believe if you got a story in your head, get it on paper. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Get it out of your head. Because the more it dwells in your head, that's too much space. Mm. You don't have enough, I firmly believe you only have enough space in your head, for your thoughts, your vision, and information. Mm-hmm. So if you carry in something that doesn't need to be there, okay, if I put it down and it's not good, I'm glad it's out of my head.
Yeah.
I know that idea was going to suck for real.
Okay.
And...
But you've also had to go the other direction.
Oh, yeah. I've had... I worked for Fiverr. And a lot of my writings went really big. Mm-hmm. Granted, as a ghostwriter, you don't get credit or really paid well. But just the knowledge that that your product hit shelves somewhere.
Yeah. And it might be a good opportunity for you to see if you got something. Especially if you've got multiple stories. Now, you've got multiple stories. Yeah, go ahead and see what you can do. what you can help with, and then help someone, see if it takes off. Boom, then go for your own. If you want, that's just the way. Test the water.
And it's really great because if you like, it goes to like who you surround yourself with. Because one of the books I did write, someone stole and published, and it bombed. They were out so much money in the publishing cost. Not everything in your head is going to be gold.
No.
Not everything in your head. Like, so get it out. Whether it's in a game, like that's why I really like watching people play games like Conan. It's the architecture, because I can understand that love for, wanting to build something, wanting to create something, wanting to express yourself in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
And so being able to communicate that in a medium that you can thoroughly enjoy, exactly, yeah, good for them. Like, more power to them. And it makes me happy. Like, I will never see the glass half empty, because as long as it's half full, that means more can come.
Yeah.
I'll always have more than what I need.
And why not stay on the positive side of it?
Exactly.
Man, life is too heavy. Be on the negative all the time. It is. Come on over to the positive side. Flip it.
We got cookies.
And Kool-Aid. But
and
yeah.
Hold on, I'm about to get Yeti's attention. Chicken. Fried chicken. I think I just heard Yeti bang through our door. Or a Samson. Fried chicken?
But yeah, we communicate very differently. So understanding communication relationships. You're dating someone, go ahead. Ask some questions. Why are we so afraid to ask questions? I know it depends on the cookies burn.
I would say.
Don't worry about it. What do you think we got? We got.
The price. Oh.
But yeah.
I would say sub today and we may send you a chicken dinner. No, I'm kidding. Burn. Oh, that was Burn knocking on our door. Gotcha. I knew Skynet would take human form eventually.
But ask some questions. Communication, ask some questions in relationships. Especially if you got doubts. It's better for you to ask a well-phrased question than you to blow up in the middle of an argument. Almost black out, or however you deal with rage and stress, go into depression, whatever, because an expectation is not met. Some of you were thinking, some of you, if we do this, I really like to try it this way. Or I know you were talking about going to the mall, but I really like whatever it is. And I feel a lot like men these days. Women have more power today. We got more power today than a lot of men in relationships. We do. But it's not being handled well. If your belief is that the playing field has not been even, I'd say we're pretty even at this point. But expectations. And understand how to communicate what you want. And men, a lot of times, they don't get to say what they want. They want to be exclusive. A lot of the women, watch out. I think these men is dogs. Not every man is a dog. Stop.
Really quick, actually, honestly, there's nothing wrong with that Burn. I do it too. That's why.
Yes.
That's why, like me and Crystal. That's why we're competitive. is because it is a way to get out aggression. And it's a way for us to get out a form of violent aggression without hurting anyone else.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing. That's like.
You needed a challenge. You weren't challenged. That's what it is.
And seeing that, like, I think that's a big thing that, like, what people misunderstand about our aggression is men will funnel that into one thing, and they will get really good at it. Whether it's playing music, playing video games, like, we'll find something to blow all our aggression. If we're insecure, we will strive to be better than others.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, like, especially when it comes to gaming, some of the best gamers start out really insecure. So it was this overwhelming need to prove. Now, granted, there's also, you know, like, the want to be the best and want to be competitive, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it all, like, that solely applies to one human being, you know, or,
of course not.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
But insecure people will join a game, trounce everybody, which awesome, good for you. But all they have is the smack talk. Like, you know, it's not even smack talk. When you're sitting up here and you're talking trash to people down here, that's not the same equivalency.
No.
You know, it's one, you know, like, so there's a balance somewhere in there. So if you're sitting like high up,
yeah,
you develop an ego because because you're insecure in life, so you have to have an ego somewhere. Like a lot of all right, I'll use myself just because I know me enough.
Okay.
I'm very secure in myself. I'm good at combat sports. I'm good at games. You know, I'm good at strategy.
Sometimes a little rough. And y'all like, dang, Chief, don't get your laughs up. Don't get your humor up. Get your game up. And he's okay. He's like, shit, that was my bad. My bad,
yep.
Guys. My bad.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's
like,
okay.
I've gotten to a level of my security where I still do have insecurities, nervousnesses, things like that, you know, because we all will always have them.
Yeah.
But I don't let them rule what I do.
Yeah, and sometimes what we think is insecurity is kind of just like fight or flight. It's just a little nervousness. You got a little butterfly. It's okay.
Like, the reason I never asked about her body count is, okay, well, first of all, would I need to know that for my ego? Now, if I'm doing it for my ego, then do I really want to know this question? Because unless this actually hurts my ego, it's going to shatter it.
Yeah.
So why even take that chance, in my opinion?
And you had to know yourself to like, don't ask that.
Yeah, I would say I had to be mature enough to be
years.
like, I don't need to know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
And
why would you put that in your head?
Exactly. Like,
why would you do that? Don't do that.
You know, like, I'm secure with myself enough to I don't care. You know, I don't need to have.
Dude, it was Vegas. People come there to do stuff they would never do anywhere else. Do you think I wanted to know a story? That kind of story. Now, some of the bodyguard stories are pretty funny. But do I want to know that? No. No, thank you.
And like, and even then, like, and whenever it's like we would sit there, we'd have a talk.
Yeah.
She'd look at me, she'd ask me a question, and I would pause because I've essentially had that same philosophy. You know, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Because sometimes knowing the answers is 1,000 times worse.
Yes.
Than not knowing at all. And you know, it just, there's some things that just, it's needless to ask.
I don't need to know the detail of every situation.
Exactly.
No.
And so I looked at her, I'm like, don't ask me questions you truly 100% do not want to know the answer to.
Yeah, so we would be going down a trail, and I'd be kind of asking him a question. Okay, what happened with this? What happened with that one? Who broke it off? What was your response? And then I'd be like, so why'd y'all break up? And then it'd be like 2 more questions down that trail. And he would be like, pause. You sure you want to know? Are you sure? And I'd be like, nah, go ahead, Skip. Next track.
Like, it's not necessary. Like, yes, exactly. Some things are really left better unsaid.
Or better left unsaid.
Yeah, it's pointless. And to me, it injects unnecessary drama.
Yes.
Which will foul up my communications with you, because in my age, I'm tired. I'm tired of having to, I'm not a young buck. I just, as my father, loves to say, my tail feathers may droop, I can still crow with anything in the barnyard. I'm secure with that.
Yeah.
And getting older, like, I don't have time for games. Like,
No.
I didn't think I'd make it this far, to be honest. So I was like, I ain't playing with the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we're, we don't need the endless cycle of drama. Because if me and her just started rolling out histories and having a junk measuring contest, we'd both lose.
Yes, there are no winners.
Because even like the bragging of conquest, like the reason that I don't even want to talk about subjects like that is because it honestly it hurt me emotionally, like spiritually, like it caused something to be there that didn't need to be in there in the first place.
Yeah, I don't like having some of those memories.
And yeah, exactly. Well, see, like that's the thing. Is like
I feel like those people, just me having a memory sometimes feels like it's still too much power.
I think
but I personally, I just don't like to have those memories.
Well, I think the big thing is like with wanting that information just sets up so much horrible shit in the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beyond unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because I think what's what people, all right, when people like married couples that got healthier or kind of got more pulled together, when they talk about hey, really, sex before marriage isn't a good idea. And everybody's like, well, you did it, or yeah, we did. We regretted it. 100%. Yeah. I truly wish I would have saved myself for my wife, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Then that would have removed it. Any insecurities, that would have removed any problems I would have had with the physical concept of intimacy.
And trust me, you would have figured it out if y'all I need to step up in there knowing I need. You would have figured it out.
We're intelligent.
Plus, tell the truth. If a woman teaches you something you didn't know, do men tend to like that kind of thing?
I think it's received well by older men, but not by younger men, because that's you talking trash about my game.
I did this before. How about we do this? I don't know. Some men don't like that kind of thing. Some women don't like that kind of thing. Especially if you've asked too many questions, and at this point you're like, so you did that with who? Where did you learn that move?
Exactly. That's the other tag. That's the other half of that problem. That brings that insecurity I was telling you about. It's like, okay, well, if I'm doing this and she's liking it, how many other people did it? And that's an insecurity you don't need.
No.
Racking up a body count.
I know, it's sad to me to watch these girls do this.
Oh, yeah.
It's for sport.
And it makes me sad guys do it too.
You need to play basketball. What are you doing? What are are you doing? I understand, Burr. Burr's I'm game. Burr said I'm game.
Well, yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. That's why I said some people don't, some people do. And so yeah, sometimes it's a fragile ego, but sometimes it's
security.
Maybe it's a little more experience in that person's preference. That's also their right.
That goes with communication. You gotta learn boundaries.
Are these some of these parties I'm pounding my nose. Some parties comments censored. I don't know if any part of these comments is censored.
Nope.
Oh God.
They're not saying anything profane.
Yeah. Oh shoot. We ain't got certain words. You know when you gotta put the whole list up.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you know how much the Urban
I
Dictionary...
gotta be creative. Go ahead and just copy paste that whole dictionary.
The whole Urban Dictionary.
That's the only way to catch some of his stuff.
Boy, we'll be forcing that boy to talk whiter and whiter by the day. You know, all of a sudden he'll be like, "Oh, Charles, how are you doing?"
No, Bern, you're fine. You're fine. We're teasing you guys. We like that you're hanging out and having fun with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to Foxy, you know, I understand egos. Sometimes guys' egos are too fragile. Now there is a limit, guys. Like, I am a woman who is comfortable with a guy crying around me. Sometimes I'll look over and Chief is crying at a movie because it's a heartwarming movie. But you know,
Old Yeller's still sad.
But especially if it's about fighting or running for your dream, you know, like exactly. And it could just be people in general. If it could be whoever you're dealing with. If their ego is that fragile. But that's also part of don't ask the wrong question. Don't ask the wrong question. But there is going too far. Now, men and women, people, if you is crying 10 times a day, that's a little too much. Men, if you're crying, if you're crying once a day, it's too much. We can't be that fragile. We can't be that fragile.
See, and like the fact that like I think the fragileness has like carried into so much because
it has.
A man's ego. Yes, we all have egos.
Mm-hmm.
What okay amount?
Well, it depends on where you are with things. If you're going through a hard breakup, dude, I expect you to cry. Mm-hmm. Chief and I, that first 3-4 years of our marriage, we were crying and bawling. First of all, because we had finally found someone who would love us through that stuff. Some of those tears were just happy tears, like, oh my God, how did I find you? Like, how did I find someone who was patient enough to deal with me, to be real with me, that I could just be my entire person in front of them? I didn't have to hide one part. I didn't have to sugarcoat anything. If I wanted to talk about it, I could do it. Some of that was tears of joy. Some of that was tears of sadness. Like, how did I end up here?
And honestly,
what happened? Where did I go wrong? How did the road veer this way?
And like this whole like putting chink in the armor thing, like yes, emotions for men is like armor.
Yes.
Armor is going to have weak spots, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what type it is. There's always a weak spot. Mm-hmm. And there's no shame in having that weak spot, or it being exploited or anything like that. You know? But you still have to have a thick skin.
You do. Everyone has.
Like,
everyone has to.
A healthy amount. All right. What I consider healthy amount.
Or okay amount. Mm-hmm.
I don't really shed tears when I lose people. Like when like people I'm really close with die, because I choose to celebrate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your way of grieving, is celebrating.
Now, if there's a moment like in a movie, and it's mainly like kind of like it'll have like an honor based or like kind of that sense of feel.
Yeah, an accomplishment. You watch this protagonists go
Yes.
through the whole
It's
movie.
because, you know,
and they
those
finally
are-
achieve it.
Those are tears of joy.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be crying over words.
Correct.
Your arm, like that's how thick your skin should be. I don't care what word, and I've been called some creative ones. In my lifetime, I've been called some very creative slurs.
Mm-hmm.
They're just words.
Yeah.
They're not going to hurt you. Okay, and even if they come from a spouse, because we've exchanged hurtful words.
Oh, goodness. We were very broken people. Of course we did.
It doesn't. Your words or whatever she says to me is not going to hurt me. Why do I need to cry about it? I can get mad. I could be hurt by it.
Mm-hmm.
I could choose to vent it out into something else. But to cry over it, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Now some men do cry over loss, and that's fine. That to me, there's no shame in that.
No.
Because just because I viewed it something differently doesn't mean you should not grieve.
Yes. Grieving is very different.
You should be reserved with your grieving, who you share with, what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because with my grief, I can choose to cry, go to a safe place, or I can, and that's the thing, is this is where a man up is necessary. Because if you're not going
And
to
woman
be,
up. Mm-hmm.
or woman up, I'm saying man because I am a man,
Absolutely.
so I can only speak for me.
I'm just saying anybody using a cry closet.
Anyone in a cry closet.
Mm-hmm.
The world will throw much worse things at you. Words is the least.
Yeah.
So you can't hurt me with words. You cannot physically hurt me with words.
Mm-hmm.
You may offend me, but then I don't have to listen after that point.
Yeah. Just walk away.
If I choose not to listen, then I can choose to walk away, period. You know, like, there's no reason to escalate it, you know, in my mind after this point, because it's
gonna go to blows.
Yeah, because you're gonna reach
at this point.
Yeah, you're gonna reach deep inside.
We at 9.999.
We got close.
We are at a fork in the road. We might be in handcuffs or some. Oh, she. Okay.
And that's fine. See, that's the thing, is like, and the number of people that see you cry isn't the you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, like, you know, if you're grieving, you know, go hide yourself in a closet.
No.
That goes with the cry closet theory.
Yeah.
No, you grieve how you know how to grieve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's...
Yeah. Grieve how you need to grieve.
Yeah, I was
and it
saying,
doesn't
like,
matter who. I mean, I think you do need to be careful who you allow to see you cry. That is a part of your emotion that is very, very intimate. And so whether someone has gotten you so angry to the point where they have made you cry, I think you should do that in private. Because I got a game face, honey. I told you some stuff went down on my job that was enough to break somebody. And I chose to keep my game face. Because there is dealing with communication now. Remember. Now we're talking about the people who we do allow to see us be intimate and to be vulnerable and at our worst. But for those that are threatening you, your livelihood, those who are being bullies wherever they are, or dealing with situations that you should not have to deal with, whether it's a family member or not, who are purposefully trying to pull you and tear you down, do not cry in front of them. This is just from one kind of chess player to another. Don't cry in front of them. Don't let them see you sweat.
Because that's a matter of satisfaction. And even then, what could they do to you that would actually make you want to cry? They may hurt your feelings, but walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're you know, like, get it out. You know, if like, okay, if you cry, that's fine.
It's weird. I only cry just personally during my time of the month. Sorry, fellas. It's real. Women have that. But I do, because my emotions are everywhere. And so it's like a buildup. It is. And I think that's where guys are sometimes. It's just a buildup where it all comes out. And it's like, oh my God, this. It's just out of control. And the only way to get it out, outside of physically damaging your apartment, hurting yourself, hurting someone around you.
That's how I got so good.
You just bawl. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We all got to have some type of release. And sometimes crying is the best. So, anyhow.
I would say, but you know, like we're saying, like, just don't be a pussy about it. That's all we're saying. You know, there are proper moments. There's healthy amounts. But if you're crying at a movie because something like hits you, those are tears of actual joy.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's fine. So like that's fine. Like I said, you know, like.
Yeah, that's right, Fox.
Well, no, Bern, I completely understand that. No, I get. Like, when you see a lot of like travesty and it really, like, that makes a world of difference too, because it brings perspective.
That's the other side of the pendulum.
Yeah.
So we've just discussed people who cry a little too much, people who don't cry enough. You're numb.
That's why Crystal.
You know, it's not okay. It's also not okay. You do need to have a release, and if let's say you do usually cry at family deaths, but because of all the stuff that's happened and you don't even cry, I think you'll think about that. You'll think about that kind of thing. Like, why didn't I cry? Why has it just been so numb, as you said?
Because
why am I not in touch with myself anymore?
Because Crystal actually had helped me, because I went through quite a long period of just mental numbness. Nothing shocked me, nothing surprised me, nothing made me mad, nothing fazed me, because I didn't care. Because I didn't care about anything. I didn't care whether I was breathing, she was breathing, like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just became numb to everything. Mm-hmm. I understand that.
Yeah.
So that's why she doesn't tease me when we're watching a movie and this, you know, somebody, or we're watching a video of like an athlete finally hitting, you know, like the big time, or, you know, a Twitch streamer like hitting partner. I will cry, because it's a tear of joy.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's a whole, like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling of accomplishment.
Put it all out there.
Yeah, you threw everything out
everything.
So
and just said, you know what? I'm going to allow them to place a value on everything I've been building up. And then you get that satisfaction of first place, of making the team, of hitting that partnership. Heck, she only going to cry for you.
And even
that was a long road. That was a long journey. You did it.
And like on top of that, like the other side of that coin, the rage crying. I understand that. I understand rage tears, because that means there's been a cork on this, you know, pressurized container so tight, that it finally popped. Mm-hmm. Well, with the tears, it's more of, that's when it kind of fizzles and it like comes spewing out. It's when that pop, you know, happens. That's when shit gets real. Yeah. So if, you know, like, if you've got to leak that out or bleed it out of you, essentially, through rage tears, do it. It's just...
That's just weird, because I was about to be like, yeah, remember I was talking about how I cry on my mission? It's just an overwhelming of emotion, and you need a release. That's very different. You gotta let that out. I think that's healthy.
Yeah, like,
I think that's healthy. You know, make sure it's contained. If you need to be by yourself, be by yourself. But deal with it.
I think I think I figured out like why like there's might be a marker miss, like why there's specific questions, is because we're talking about once again we're talking about our experiences, what we found, and what has made us happy.
Yeah.
Because we experience these things, we analyze them, and we talk about what we went through. That's not us telling people what to do, or like, all people go in one box or another. No. We all are completely different. But if what worked for us will, like, any part of it helps. Like, for guys, don't be a pussy. Just don't
PG cheese.
Sorry, don't be a sissy.
I'm hoping kids do watch this. That's why I have to determine how I do, because a lot of kids, they foster kids and stuff, they need some direction. But anyway.
Well, I mean, like,
don't be too soft.
There's a difference between the generation that raised the Gen Xers.
Go ahead and break that whole genealogy down, because I think it kind of highlights.
Actually, you're right. This is okay. My dad,
to kind of help us understand ourselves.
In my family, while my grandfather was still around, you had to earn your last name. So you had to do something impressive enough to be a Johnson. And that had been carried through my family, and that's the only thing I would consider toxic, is you're all disposable. That's how like my family was treated. You were disposable unless you met my expectation of what I think is great. So the Gen Xers, and I'm not like, not the ones before, well, it's still bled down. But the older the generation, the rougher they were with other human beings, because they had to be rough, period.
Yeah.
That was the only way to communicate.
Most of them were enlisted in the wars or
worked dead-end jobs, and alcohol was the only escape.
Yeah.
So those guys, they built our country, and so we may have been thankful, but they didn't care. They were just trying to make it by.
Yeah.
Then the generation after that was like, okay, well, this has been built. Let's expand upon it. So my grandfather built this. What up, 49?
Hey, cheers, mate.
So, my grandfather built this. You better not, mess this up. So, okay, well, my family on my dad's side has got a pretty vicious history of just people, like brutal human beings. So it got passed down. You had to be highly competitive. You had to be aggressive. You had to go above and beyond. And the person before you was like, you were not going to reach that expectation. Just the expectation was just never going to be reached.
Okay.
And that was my dad's dad. Like, I had my grandfather, my actual biological grandfather, I only met him like 4 times in my life. And 3 of them almost came to blows. I didn't like the man. He was not he was my grandfather by blood, but he was not my grandfather. He was not my grandpa. Exactly. It really is. It's either give everything, you better give blood, sweat, tears, bones, teeth, all of it. To meet my expectation. Well, that was placed on my dad. My dad joined the Marine Corps. My dad lied about his age. Joined the Marine Corps like many people did.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to Nam. He was 2 weeks short of it.
Mm-hmm.
He got into basic, and they announced that their peace talks had begun.
Mm-hmm.
And a ceasefire had begun.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a soldier. He ended up going to sniper school. Then he ended up getting into full contact, like pre-UFC, you know what I mean? Like just dirty, just noxious places where people would pay to watch people fight.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad did not have the same expectation for me.
No.
He wanted me to achieve and grow and outshine him.
Mm-hmm.
So my expectation had changed. So that's why my expectations, they're firm, like, you know, because I'm still going to, you know, have the, you know, you got to be somebody, but not to have my name. And my name is a gift, you know, not from anyone, but from, you know.
Yeah.
Saprify. My man, thank you for your service.
Really? Wow. Burn, that's huge.
I would say, like, you know, that.
Thank you.
So I like that. That's why I say I understand, because me and my dad
You should have been told us you were in the military. Man, we would have been talking to you, brother, a different way. We would have, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, so that, like,
mad respect for our military. Mad
like
respect.
my dad, when he was telling me about what they put him through in the Marine Corps, I was like, nah.
Just wipe the card again. Are you talking about that video he was working on yesterday or my Sunday stream?
Finished.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, that's great.
No torture today. I'm giving the meat shields a break. We's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing.
Come on. I love it.
Oh no, I completely
It's not
get
pretty.
It.
Oh, Chief. I gotta say this. This is very interesting in communication. So, as he just described to you, he was a sniper. He was a top sniper. He was one of them good old boys. They drop off in the middle of nowhere. Here's your gun. Bye. He hates eating fish because he had to eat fish raw because he could not make a fire. If you are a sniper, you can't give away your location. So his dad had to eat raw fish. Anyway, so this is the kind of man, the background, the fortitude, the get her done. And so, but he's such a prankster. He's such a good storyteller. He's just the guy you have to be around. Just like Chief.
I really should have my dad on my streams.
We should. We would stream when we go see them April 3rd, but you literally got to have your foot out the door. You got to have the phone at the right angle. Anyway.
Oh yeah, the sand snipe, the sniping in the Middle East. Yeah, my dad was in South America, so I can only imagine, like.
Yeah.
Because
you'd have, how can you hide like that?
Oh yeah, well, my dad told me the one place he absolutely hated was being in a desert.
Yes.
Like the absolute place he absolutely hated. He said he would rather be in the jungles than in a desert. And yeah, that's why he was really happy with being in a jungle.
His dad opened up to me. You know, he likes to sit around, shoot the breeze.
Yep.
Love, just love talking and stuff. And so, yes, he's incredible.
Like, I grew
and
up,
my mama, I call her mom.
Well, like,
of course, my mama.
They're
incredible. But let me tell you a story. And so he opened up to me over after we had played some card games, sat around, smoked, drank a little something, And he opened up and told me about his war buddies. And this is how many started out. This is what happened. This is why I look after this person's son, because that was my best friend, even though he's a knucklehead. The son is a knuckle, And then he proceeded to tell me about times where mom would have to help him throughout the night because he'd be having a horrible nightmare.
Yeah, well, like I grew up listening to my dad screaming in the middle of the night, you know. So no, I
That's why you gotta choose the right person, man. A lot of you guys are from families, or those of you have served in the military. You gotta choose right. You gotta have a strong man or woman by your side, man. Don't cut yourself short.
and Bern,
And
thank
there's
you for
nothing you should be ashamed of. You've seen shit people shouldn't have to see in their lifetime. And if
Bern,
you have those difficult nights, you need to be able to deal with it. Go ahead, babe.
Sorry. Hey, Bern, thank you for joining us.
Yes!
We had a blast. And you know what? My Seprify never die, brother.
That's right.
I would say, always love seeing, you know, my my white mage meat shield around, you know, anytime that we're up and at them. So thank you for just stopping by. And we hope that you have a great evening.
Yeah.
We really do. We
Enjoy
pray
yourself.
that you have a great evening.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, like my dad didn't fully open up to me, like about like what he'd done, or like what he had to do, to what was requested of him.
Mm-hmm.
Until like I had actually experienced something similar. I had to defend my own life, and someone lost theirs, in the process.
Yeah.
As a bodyguard, I've lost members of my unit. They died. Mm-hmm. I've had to bury quite a few of my friends. It's not an easy process. So having an outlet of some kind
mm-hmm.
is absolutely a necessity in life. And that's the thing, is like it makes it difficult to communicate.
It does.
Because
dealing with that level of trauma, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And having to contain it, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Having to contain all that on top of, to be functional, to be a real man, being you is exactly what a real woman, a real man is. Be
mm-hmm.
you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Be you. If someone's in your atmosphere, or like gravitational pull, be the positive in it, because if not you, then who?
Yeah.
You need to communicate that out, and the best way, like the only way you can, and that's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with who you are, and what you want.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, guys, we talk like this all the time to each other. No cameras. We literally talk like this. You guys are just hanging out while we wanted to talk.
Yeah, by the next stream, I'm sure we'll be even more comfortable, and we'll probably just talk to each other most of the time, kind of like we did.
And that's the thing, is all you can do is wait.
Exactly, yeah.
Like it's patience.
Mm-hmm.
And a marriage should be ride or die. If you're willing to be, if you guys are willing to communicate, grow, changing yourself to better relationship is growth. It's not, they want me to change. It's not that. You feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
So you deflect it as, you want me to change this. Well, I knew I was overweight, so anything she said about my weight offended me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would wall up, be like, no. I felt bad about it, so I decided to do something about it. I feel better.
I'm just laughing because I
did
make
come
the
kicking
joke
and screaming
that I had to go into the belly of the beast. I did, man. I'm gonna have to show some pictures. We're gonna have to do a couple shots on here. Yeah, but we dealt with it. And he also went down my trail of breaking that idea of perfection. You don't have to always be perfect. Calm down. You don't have to always, babe, ain't nobody worried about it. But that's from a broken childhood. of everything. Well, if you got a single parent, you had to be the second parent, and you received praise and love through good job on finishing that meal. Good job on cleaning the house and taking care of everything. That's perfectionism. But I understand. Yeah. In time. It's just, it's a lot of patience. Absolutely, with people who've been through that kind of trauma. Yeah.
It's all you can do, and just talk.
And maybe talking about some of your own will help them to open up. And not that they would immediately say something after you say something. They may take it in, realize how big it was for you to say it, and then they'll come around and tell you what was going on with them. So that's good. That's awesome that you can be, it takes a special person to be with someone who's fought for our country and been through that kind of trauma. It does. Because too many of our men and women end up homeless, and that's not okay. It's because they can't acclimate. And I don't think we've built a structure that supports our troops like we need to. But yeah. Well, Chief, I got to get up early in the morning. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Man, this is fun.
This was a lot of fun.
This was fun. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you walk away feeling a little encouraged, understanding yourself a little more because you had some time to think about it, and then understanding communication.
Do you want to try to find somebody to rig? Because we got some people, and I got one guy.
Yeah,
who's actually really good. He's playing a video game, but I know he talks a lot about kind of like some of the stuff we talk about. He does have a little more political aim, because he.
Well, they can judge that after they get there. That's okay.
So
just give them a chance, and they can judge whether or not they're into it. That's okay.
Yeah. So we'll do a quick raid.
But we gonna raid somebody every time we shut off the stream. But let me just say thank you all again for joining us. We appreciate your time. Like we said, it's a Tuesday. You didn't have to spend a whole part of your night. We know you still got to go back to work or whatever. Either tonight you're at work or you could be doing anything. We appreciate you. We love you. We're happy to have you. And we hope that we've been a positive light tonight. And
sorry, the internet's being retarded.
You take that with you. So, who is we rating? Go ahead, Chief.
His name is Preacher570.
Okay.
He's a good guy. I like him. He makes me laugh.
He might be comical.
He's pretty funny.
Some people are extreme, but I just be laughing at him. Like,
all right, sorry. No,
we gonna edit this one out if we cut a clip.
No, we gonna
X gonna give it to you. Give it to you. X gonna deliver to you.
All right, there we go. Okay, let's see. Great channel.
Have a good night, guys.
Alright, it's raiding over.
Actually, it's gold, bro. It's even better. Money's kind of like a fucking IOU, courtesy of the government. You know what I mean?
Yo, you
yeah, trash.
I'm hyped, girl. Shit, how the fuck you so chill?
What do we do here? Just steal money, bro. Get that gold. Get that gold. Get that gold. Get that gold. Smash that A button. Look at that gold. Dude, gold bars, bro. Get them out. Ah, fuck, I'm so excited. I'm running into bars. But the wrong bars. Give me that gold.
And thank you for the follow. Thank you for the raid and the follow.
Oh no. Oh no. Under arrest. 5 stars. Oh, shit. No, we ain't busting. Yo, I'm at capacity. Does anyone have any extra room for gold? No? Is everybody at